So after getting everything planted in the garden, I noticed the next morning that there was a lot of damage on certain plants. My melons, my cucumbers, and my zucchini plants all had these chew marks all over the stalks, and there was a lot of damage to the leaves on the plants. And some of the plants even were chewed completely to the ground. The whole top was cut off, and it basically killed the plant. So after doing some research, I found out what was causing all the damage to my plants. And it turns out these guys are living right in my garden bed. And they're called pill bugs. I've always called them Rollie Pollies, and they have a ton of different names depending where you are in the world. You guys can check out that list. Some of the names are pretty funny. These guys love to eat plant matter, either decaying or already dead plants that are decomposed. Their preferred food is soft decaying plants like grasses and leaves, and they also love to eat your plant starts. I've had tons of issues with them eating my melons in the past, and when I sow beans directly in the ground, they love to eat the beans as they're coming out of the ground. So now I'm going to share with you a few methods on how you can get rid of these guys, get them out of your garden, and really knock down their numbers so there's not so many of them eating your plants. So all you need for this first method is some leftover food scraps. I'm using some watermelon. I've heard they really like melons. They like to chew on my melons when they land on the ground. I know that. So I just put a few pieces in the garden bed, and that helps to attract the roly-polies away from your plants, and they will start feeding on the melon. And then you can periodically go outside and check each piece of melon and see if there's any roly-polies, and then all you do is pluck them off and get them out of your garden. So the next thing I used in the garden was some diatomaceous earth. Now if you've never heard of this stuff, all it is fossilized skeletons of microscopic single-celled aquatic organisms, and they're called diatoms. So I wanted to mention that the diatomaceous earth is non-poisonous, and it's safe for actually human consumption as well. They do make a food-grade version of this, so you have to do your research on how to use that. But I like to take the diatomaceous earth and sprinkle it around each one of the plants. I put a little bit on the leaves as well. And what it does is, as the insects crawl over this, it gets on their exoskeleton and it causes them to dry out and die. It actually absorbs the oils and fats from the cuticle of the insect's exoskeleton. And this stuff has really sharp edges, and it helps to kind of, I guess it cuts them up and helps speed up that process. So the next thing I used was this Sluggo Plus. Now this stuff is a bait style product. You just sprinkle the little pellets around each one of your plants that you're trying to protect. And it says it works best if the soil is dampened before you sprinkle it out. I think it helps to soften it so the insects can eat it easier. And once they eat this stuff, it will kill the insects. It's also omri-listed, so it's safe in organic gardens, and it's non-toxic to wildlife, people, and pets. So as a final line of defense, I took the pots that all my plants came in and I cut the bottom off. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sticking them around each and every plant. And basically, I'm making a wall to keep them from getting to my plants and chewing them up. I'm going to be slightly burying them in the soil just to make sure they can't dig underneath. And I also made sure that there weren't any roly-polies in that area when I did this. So you're probably wondering, how did the plants do after you used all these different methods? Well, they're doing amazing. It's been 50 days since I applied all these techniques, and I didn't have any problems with the pill bugs, or roly-polies as you would call them, eating up my plants. So in the future, I'm going to be incorporating all these different techniques while I'm planting my starts in the garden, just to protect them right off the bat so we don't have this problem in the future. So that's the end of this video. If you found it helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could like, share, and subscribe, and also ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my latest gardening videos. And with that said, I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you the next episode. And oh yeah, don't forget to check out some of my other videos right here.